All right, let's bring in now to talk about the women's rights in Nigeria and beyond, especially as the world continues to celebrate women on the occasion of the International Women's Day. We have joining us now an occupational therapist and a former governorship aspirant, Victoria Amo. It's good to have you join us again, as of course you join us from Edo State. If you would quantify and qualify the achievements of women, especially on the political space, and what the future holds moving forward, what would it be for you?
For the non-political space, women have done a lot. You today now see young girls aspiring to be medical doctors, aspiring to be lawyers, aspiring to be engineers, aspiring to different cardiologists, if they are doctors, neurologists, which was explicitly the area of men. You now see them in professions. You now see women as chief judges. You now see women as SANs. But when you go into the political space, nothing has changed in the political space. In fact, over the years, the issue of women gaining at least the 35% affirmative action in Nigeria has been non-existent. When affirmative action came in, there was eagerness on the part of government and the people to have actual 35%, and that was demonstrated then. But as the years trickled down, we don't have 35% in the political space. If you look at the House of Senate, if you look at the National Senate, you have 109 members, and you only have 4 women, and that is going to dwindle. So what is happening in the political space is totally different from what is happening on the outside. So,
right, and what do you think needs to change to open up the space for women politically? People were already talking about 2027. What needs to change?
In more participation, what needs to change is deliberate attempt by the gatekeepers. There are gatekeepers in politics. Deliberate attempt by gatekeepers to put women in deliberately. We need to see party structures like the APC or the PDP or the SDP actually fly women as their party chairman. We need to see them have women as party secretaries, because until it is no longer a boys' club, which is what it is today, you will not find women in politics. Today it's a boys' club. When you call for ward chairman, it's all men. When you have a 27 executive, even at the national, there are only 2 women there. The national woman leader for the parties and the deputy woman leader. And that is an executive of over 27 persons, and you have only 2 women. And every year, even the spouses of presidents have never been able to weigh on their husbands to change the narrative. So I don't know where that narrative is going to change, whether the change of that. So when we have more inclusion of women in party structures, be it at the local government level, be it at the state level, be it in the House of Assembly, be it in the House of Rep, like Edo State, like you see. So I don't think we've ever had a woman in the House of Rep. We've never. So it must be a governor who will deliberately say, this local government, please bring a woman. We've never. Lagos State was the brainchild who was able to bring at least 20 women or 16 women into the House of Assembly. And that was then. And Lagos State was the only state who also was, for a few years after the 35% affirmation, they were able to fly a woman as a deputy governor. And where they do not have a woman as a deputy governor, they will have a woman as a secretary to government. So but all other states, it has been difficult.
Right.
Yes.
So intentionality is key. But let's quickly have your final thoughts now on combating abuse, which has been identified as one of the greatest clogs against women and girls in modern day Nigeria. How do we curb that?
We need to help those who are sick, who are eager to be in the political space and they are women, you know, to be able to understand what sexual abuse is. We need to teach our girl child not to place themselves at points of vulnerability, because when you place yourself at points of vulnerability, you definitely will be taken advantage of.
Right.
Someone tells me today there's no sexual abuse, sexual harassment in politics, I'll tell them to go back and take a catalog of who, even if your wife today is a political figure, you must be wary for her well-being, because at some point in those meetings, something is going on. The fact that she doesn't tell you doesn't mean that nothing has gone wrong, because women in this region are trained not to talk about abuse unless they are totally pushed to the wall.
Right.
And then as a man, when you take your wife to political meetings, you must know when something is amiss, because when there's abuse, there's anxiety. When there's abuse, there's anxiety. When there's abuse, there's depression. You know, and all of those things come with persons feeling left out and not wanting to participate, and a lot of things happen. So the psychosocial aspect of those things is huge on society. And the earlier we start to see it, we will be able to help our girl child or our women in politics.
That's a fine place to rest our conversation. Victoria Amo, we thank you for your contributions on The World Now.
Thanks.
And that's TVC News this hour.